Welcome back, students. In this video, we're going to practice adding and subtracting fractions. We have to remember, when we add and subtract fractions, we must get a least common denominator. Let's try number 1. If I'd like to add these fractions together, I need a common denominator for 4 and 12. Common denominator meaning a number that both 4 and 12 can divide into. I like to check to see if the smaller denominator divides evenly into the bigger denominator. If 4 divides evenly into 12, then 12 makes a good common denominator. Now we need to get the numerators. What do you multiply times this denominator to get this denominator? I would have to multiply 4 times 3 to get 12. Then I must also multiply the top by 3. What do you multiply times 12 to get 12? Is 1. Then I'll multiply the top by 1. Now keep the common denominator and add up the numerators. If this fraction reduces, we should reduce. 10 over 12 is a good answer, but even better, we'll divide by 2 and divide by 2 to end up with a final answer of 5/6. Here's number 2. We're subtracting fractions, so we need a common denominator. I check to see if the smaller one divides evenly into the larger one, but it doesn't. Another way to get a common denominator is to multiply the two denominators together. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 makes a good common denominator. Now let's get the numerators. What do you multiply times 3 to get 12? Is 4. We'll multiply the top by 4 as well. What do you multiply times 4 to get 12? Is 3. If I multiply the top by 3, I get 9. Now keep the common denominator and subtract. 8 minus 9 is -1. When you work these problems, this is how I'd like you to show your work. Write the problem down, rewrite it with common denominators, show me the final answer. Now number 3 is a fraction minus a whole number. Let's make the whole number look like a fraction by putting it over 1. Now I need a common denominator. Well, does the small denominator divide evenly into the big denominator? It does. So the big denominator is a good common denominator. For the numerators, what do you multiply times 8 to get itself? Is 1. Multiply the top by 1. What do you multiply times 1 to get 8? Is 8. Then we'll multiply the top by 8. 8 times 2 is 16. Now keep the common denominator and subtract. 3 minus 16 is -13. All right, go work some problems and then meet me back here.